Thank you, Christine, for this invitation to share some thoughts and, if possible, offer some insights and suggestions regarding the new phase of the world of work, and maybe also starting from my last book, The Future of the Work, The Future of Life.
Yes.
And the community I founded, the HR community, represents a privileged observatory on these issues. Through the experience of more than 500 HR directors and companies and CEOs, in our community, in fact, it is possible to grasp and often anticipate what will be the trend lines that will shape the future of work. To grasp the future, we must first understand what is happening now. After more than 50 years, the terrible economic crisis, a dramatic pandemic, a war that heightened geopolitical tensions, rising energy costs, and shortening supply chains, we seem to be facing a reversal of meaning. To have a fulfilling social and personal life, we must reduce work. But in my opinion, things are different in reality. What we need to do is to recover an approach in which there is no market exchange between the sphere of relationship and affection and work engagement. Great resignation, YOLO economy, contrast to the hustle economy are all aspects of a redefinition of times, phases, and ways of living and working. Last year was a historic one for American jobs. A record number of workers quit their jobs, while US employers had more positions to fill than ever before. A Microsoft survey of more than 30,000 global workers showed that 41% of workers were considering quitting or changing professions this year. And a study from HR software company Personio of workers in the UK and Ireland showed 38% of those surveyed planned to quit in the next 6 months to a year. The Great Resignation phenomenon is a long-term trend that began in 2009 after the Great Crisis of 2008. It is therefore not just the effect of the pandemic. Is there a disaffection with work? There is no clear evidence here. In fact, the data seem mixed. Because, for example, in the United States, where the phenomenon started, it seems that the pandemic has pushed many people toward occupations that are more demanding in terms of initiatives and skills, leaving aside lower value-added jobs. 2 years since COVID-19 disrupted lives around the planet, the United States doesn't have monopoly on the factors driving the Great Resignation. Dissatisfaction with working conditions, unaspiring jobs, and bad bosses has gone global, as has a desire to seek out a better deal from companies. In the first 6 months of 2022, there were more than 3.3 million terminations from work in Italy, a 36% increase over the same period last year. While the question arises as to whether or not we are facing a great reshuffle in the productive sectors, another phenomenon is spreading, which has been called quiet quitting, the tendency to provide work performance within precise time limits. This phenomena can also be interpreted as an outcome of the crisis of the traditional labor model. I think that the crisis of this model is leading to a different consideration of work as something that must respond to a deeper search for meaning. For the first time, with smart working, we experience the fusion of work and life. Pandemic agile work has promoted a profound revaluation of the sphere of personal affections. In my opinion, our efforts must move toward a tendency to recompose these fears, valuing the aspects of personal relations and flexibility in the workplace. In fact, the point is not only to make workers more flexible, but also organizations. And this must start with a truly flexible approach from the top management as well. I strongly believe that there is a need to implement new forms of management, starting from diversity and inclusion, which is the most important issue to me if you want to be able to build a better world. There is also a need to increase psychological safety. That is a set of behavioral styles, leadership styles, and organizational structures that promote safety and belonging with respect to a team, creating an environment in which people feel heard and understood for their ideas, accompanied by forms of sharing responsibility, not only for the results of their own work, but also to their colleagues. The question we should ask ourselves is this: is it possible to promote a business model feasible that does not have profit as its sole purpose, but a broader horizon that tends toward human dignity and well-being? Of there, I am deeply convinced. And it is on this basis that I decided to create CEOforLIFE, a community of CEOs that since its conception has aimed to be inclusive. CEOforLIFE aggregates more than 500 CEOs, entrepreneurs, institutions, young people, media. And CEOforLIFE, as CEOforLIFE, we are working to promote and accelerate through our community a new alliance between business and sustainability. And with our CEOforLIFE awards, we honor CEOs and companies that have set new standards of excellence in their SDGs projects to achieve a better and more sustainable future. We want to develop our CEOforLIFE awards globally, and I hope we can do it together. But I want to leave you with one of my most important and preferred dreams. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace in Rome, in Argife. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Thank you.